I'm Staff Sergeant Joe Biggs, U.S. Army retired veteran of both Iraq and Afghanistan. Now I'm here today to dismantle the lies, propaganda, and just blatant BS put out by the mainstream media, the Pentagon. All these different sources are just clearly lying about this Operation Jade Helm 1-5. Now, first off, I want to talk about the Army Times. Now, in the Army Times, it says that Joe Biggs is cited as a veteran of Afghanistan and Iraq and said that exercises would prepare troops to throw citizens in FEMA camps. I'm cited as a U.S. Army veteran. Hello, you guys have written about me before. You can actually go Google my name with Army Times and pull up an article that you yourself did. Hello, you might want to go fact check yourself before you wreck yourself. You guys are supposed to have our backs. I'm a veteran. I actually have a Purple Heart. Do you know what that is? You obviously don't know what a veteran is. This is a Purple Heart. So now we're going to talk about the BizPac Review article. It says that we call this basically a secret document that proved to be bogus, but it hasn't slowed down the storm of conspiracies. Well, if you go back to March 23rd of last week, there's a video where I bring this Jade Helm 1-5 document to Alex. We sit down here at the news desk and we discuss what's going on. And in the video, you can clearly see that it says unclassified. Not once have we said secret document in any video. It's not secret. It's been hiding in plain sight for anyone to find, except most people don't know what to look for. And if they did see something like that, they wouldn't know what they were looking at.
We get sent by one of our sources, I'll leave it at that, hey, this is hidden behind a firewall, but it's unclassified. They're supposed to be releasing this. A little bird just put it on Scripps, the big document site. So that's a trick. When something's supposed to be declassified, they'll still hide it. So now for 4 or 5 days, they've had the different publications, Stars and Stripes, military.com, and others going, we don't know if the document's real, but these conspiracy theorists, claim that we want to take over Texas and Utah this summer and martial law. We're not going to have martial law this summer.
You notice how they don't deny the operation, though, whatsoever? They just keep trying to, move the attention away from the fact that that's going on and just keep throwing out the conspiracy term and keep attacking us, so it takes people's attention off of the fact that there is a mission going to happen, just like it says in the documents. They're not denying it.
And then you got contacted by one of your friends that you served with, saying, shut up, it's a PSYOP, get you none of your business.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why it's getting this kind of coverage, because there is underlined hidden messages in this document. The Pentagon keeps attacking us, coming after us, claiming that we said this is secret. So now we're going to take a look at Fox News. And in their article, it says Pentagon and local law enforcement are trying to knock down the rumors and let everyone know that the feds have no plan to take over Texas. Well, last night on the Kelly File, Megyn Kelly was talking to a reporter out of L.A., Chase Gallagher.
While the military says it's just training soldiers for the realities of war, critics say the Army is preparing for modern-day martial law. Trace Gallagher live in our West Coast newsroom with the story. Trace?
And they joke back and forth and banter. They would not once mention the fact that Alex Jones or myself or InfoWars broke this story, brought it to the attention of the American people. All they did was just call us some conspiracy group out of Austin, Texas, or something like that. This is out of control. They are blatantly lying, saying that we said it was a secret document when we never said that whatsoever.
Well, that hostile characterization didn't sit well with a far-right radio host in Austin who told his listeners that he had access to the secret document that details a federal takeover in Texas. A libertarian website also picked up on the plan, and before you know it, rallies were being held against the event. But apparently the so-called secret document was published weeks ago in several local newspapers, letting the public know the training was in the works. Still, the Pentagon and local law enforcement are trying to knock down the rumors, trying to let everyone know that the feds have no plans to grab the Lone Star State. Apparently this kind of stuff just doesn't play very well in Texas.
Now, they refuse to link to our videos. Last night, Alex Jones actually did a video which outlines with proof what is happening, the plan to condition the American public into accepting this military presence on the streets. Now we're going to look at an article from the Dallas Morning News. It says the U.S. Army Special Operations Command has an upcoming training exercise so covert, there was a press release about it 2 days ago. Well, first of all, this goes back to the whole thing saying that we said it was secret. We never said it was secret. We showed you the document where it says unclassified. This is where it actually gets interesting. Now it says, despite assurances that the training is to prepare troops for overseas missions, Army documents in the past have made clear that plans for martial law are in place for within the continental United States. Now, a leaked 2012 U.S. Army Military Police Training Manual entitled Civil Disturbance Operations describes how soldiers would be ordered to confiscate firearms and kill American dissidents. The manual also revealed that prisoners would be detained in temporary internment camps and re-educated to gain a new appreciation of U.S. policies in accordance with, now this is the key part, the U.S. Army FM Field Manual, in case you don't know what FM is, 3-19.40, Internment Resettlement Operations. Hello, these are the documents that the military is putting out. We link to this kind of information at InfoWars. We don't just make this stuff up. This is what we do. We don't use teleprompters. We actually go out there and do research about what it is that we talk about. Now, it goes on to say that Jade Helm has also drawn comparisons to a 2012 scenario outlined by retired Army Colonel Kevin Benson, in which the U.S. military is used to crush an insurgent rebellion overseen by Tea Party militia members who are going to take over a city of Darlington in South Carolina.
The exercise is known as Jade Helm 15, and conspiracy theorists believe it is targeting the southwest region of the United States, particularly the state of Texas. The military is denying the conspiracy, and a spokesman for the military said, "This exercise is routine training to maintain a high level of readiness for Army Special Operations Forces because they must be ready to support potential missions anywhere in the world at a moment's notice."
Army Lieutenant Colonel Mark Lastoria, a SOCOM spokesperson, says the notion was proposed by a few individuals who are unfamiliar with how and why SOCOM conducts training. A few individuals who are unfamiliar. In case you forgot, I'm Staff Sergeant Joe Biggs, U.S. Army retired. I'm very familiar with these documents. The reason that we broke this is because I saw the underlying meaning behind it. So don't tell me or question my service. I didn't sit there and bleed for my country and watch my friends die so you can tell me that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Now we're going to go on to the next article by the Houston Chronicle, and it says plans for a 17-city Army Special Operations exercise in Texas stirred up some ultra right-wing fears of a government takeover in the Lone Star State. But local law enforcement says they've been long aware of this drill. They've only been talking to people within Texas since the beginning of March, so I wouldn't say this is a long-time known operation that you guys have had planned. So we'll go ahead and go past that. Now it says training exercise Jade Helm is going to assist our special operations soldiers in refining the skills needed against an ever-changing foreign threat. Well, I don't know if you guys remember when David Knight and I went to AP Hill in Virginia and showed you the training facility that has a church, a mosque, a soccer field, a subway station. Like we've always said, in the military, you train how you fight, and you train in an environment similar to the theater of operations that you will go to in combat. So why are these places popping up all over our country? A foreign threat, it looks more domestic to me. Now it says among the planned exercises, soldiers will try to operate undetected amongst civilian populations in some towns and cities where residents will be advised to report any suspicious activity. Well, guys, guess what? I accept your challenge. I'll be out there in some of those cities in camo myself, trying to find you guys, call you out, call local law enforcement, because I'm going to be a spotter. You guys remember when you went to sniper school, when the spotter sat up there and you guys shot targets and he tried to find you? That's what we're going to do. I'm also going to encourage a lot of my InfoWars listeners out there to go out to these different cities as well and see if you can spot these guys. And let's call in on them. Let's see how good these guys are, because we don't need a whole bunch of special operations commandos running around dressed in civilian attire, operating civilian vehicles, and also a bunch of guys in ghillie suits moving around through the woods doing God knows what. So far I've covered all the mainstream media lies. Now what I want you to do, I want you to go to Infowars.com. I want you to tell your friends to go there right now and go to the article Beyond Denial, Preparations for Martial Law in America, where Paul Joseph Watson and Alex Jones lay out all the information over the past few years, where it clearly states that the government is ramping up to do these type of missions. Now, Jade Helm 1.5 is something that's probably been in the works for a long time, because all this information that you can find in this article is very informative. It'll help give you a background about what this mission really is and what it is that the government's trying to do. Now, finally, I want to call out all you Pentagon propaganda pushing MSM sites out there. The The reason why you guys are afraid to ever link to our information and call us by name is because you know the American people will find out the truth. You guys are all working for the military-industrial complex. You guys are all vetted in the military, and you guys get paid by these guys to push their BS. I'm an American citizen. I'm a soldier. I'm pissed off. And after this video, a lot of American citizens are going to be pissed off too. I'm Joe Biggs with Infowars.com signing off.
The globalists have controlled the mainstream media for a long time, but now they're expanding and making the weaponization even more vicious and deceptive. All the major networks are state-run.
We are partnering this year with the NFL.
The NFL has become a political weapon against the Second Amendment and pushes Obamacare. MSNBC tells us that our children belong to the state.
We have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families and recognize that kids belong to whole communities.
It is more important than ever to realize that we are not the alternative media. We are the true media. The establishment dinosaur press is dying.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war.
Join us at InfoWarsNews.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. Members can share their memberships with up to 11 people. By subscribing, you will literally be buying war bonds in the info war to expand our operation in the face of the tyrants. Join us at PrisonPlanet.tv.
BS put out by the mainstream media, the Pentagon, all these different sources are just clearly lying about this Operation Jade Helm 1.5. Now, first off, I want to talk about the Army Times. Now, in the Army Times, it says that Joe Biggs is cited as a veteran of Afghanistan and Iraq and said that exercises would prepare troops to throw citizens, and we discuss what's going on. And in the video, you can clearly see that it says unclassified. Not once have we said secret document in any video. It's not secret. It's been hiding in plain sight for anyone to find, except most people don't know what to look for. And if they did see something like that, they wouldn't know what they were looking at. In FEMA camps. I'm cited as a US Army veteran. Hello, you guys have written about me before. You can actually go Google my name with Army Times and pull up an article that you yourself did. Hello, you might want to go fact check yourself before you wreck yourself. You guys are supposed to have our backs. I'm a veteran. I actually have a Purple Heart. Do you know what that is? You obviously don't know what. I'm Staff Sergeant Joe Biggs, U.S. Army retired veteran of both Iraq and Afghanistan. Now I'm here today to dismantle the lies, propaganda, and just blatant what a veteran is. This is a Purple Heart. So now we're going to talk about the BizPac Review article. It says that we call this basically a secret document that proved to be bogus, but it hasn't slowed down the storm of conspiracies. Well, if you go back to March 23rd of last week, there's a video where I bring this Jade Helm 1.5 document to Alex. We sit down here at the news desk.